Hi everyone, this is Carolyn Speaks, the State of Our World, on Monday, November 13, 2023. So what is it? Good, bad, or indifferent? All three. What's happening out there? We're being exterminated. Here, one of Dr. Hammam al-Allo's last interviews from Gaza before his death. He was killed at home by an Israeli airstrike, along with his father, his brother-in-law, his father-in-law, and his kids were not there. They were at his wife's house. So he was killed. A good man, a doctor specializing in kidney diseases, and he's working at the big hospital, Al Shifa Hospital, Gaza's largest hospital, and they were having all kinds of attacks by the Israelis. Also, hold Israel accountable. Gaza hospitals fail under Israeli bombardments. Doctors Without Borders describes the horrific conditions. It's a terrible situation. Not only are the doctors and patients there and the medical staff, but also lots and lots of civilians who took refuge in the hospital from the bombing in other parts of Gaza. Also, beacon of light. Fellow doctors recalled Dr. Hammam Allo, Gaza doctor killed by Israeli airstrike. They killed the doctor, and they in their efforts to wipe out a people. Okay, so someone has to hold Israel accountable. Don't say that Hamas has their infrastructure for war in the hospitals or near the hospital. We don't know that exactly. You are destroying the infrastructure of Gaza. You're telling people to go from northern Gaza to southern Gaza, and en route they could be bombed as well. And when they get to southern Gaza, they're also bombed there. So all these people have no homes, they have no nothing, and Israel is cutting off the electricity, the water, and other resources to Gaza. There was a terrible attack on October 7th when Hamas came out of their tunnels in southern Israel. They came from Gaza. They cut through the fence. They can make big enough openings in the fence to drive vehicles through. And Israel let them do it. Israel didn't know what they were doing. I think Israel is to blame, the government of Israel. Israel only isn't concerned about the West Bank settlers, the right-wing settlers, religious settlers there. That's all they care about. They don't care about the other people in Israel. And now they're trying to wipe out the people of Gaza and the West Bank. To hold Israel accountable, stop giving them the resources to carry on their war against Palestinians. Also, Gaza's largest hospitals closed, premature babies taken out of incubators as health system collapses. French President Emmanuel Macron says it's time for ceasefire in Gaza. British Prime Minister Rishi Sunak fires Home Secretary who branded pro-Palestinian marches hate crimes. And President of Sinn Féin, Mary Lou McDonald, calls for Israel to be held accountable at the International Communications Court. I totally agree. And also 300,000 protests in London to demand a ceasefire in Gaza. And Hezbollah attack injures 7 Israeli soldiers and 10 others near the Lebanon border. And Pentagon says it bombed 2 more sites in Syria in response to drone and missile attacks. And Sudanese paramilitary group carried out massacre of Masalit in Darfur. Masalit is a group. Okay, the Masalit people. Sudan is another area. Sudan, former British colony. Okay, and Sudanese paramilitary groups did this, and protesters challenged Spanish government deal granting amnesty to Catalan separatists, and Australia agrees to resettle climate refugees from Tuvalu in exchange for security pact. Okay, FBI seizes electronic devices of New York City Mayor Eric Adams amid campaign finance probe, and Senator Tim Scott drops bid for 2024 GOP presidential nomination, and animal rights defender Wayne Huslung convicted of felony for rescuing factory farm animals who saving their lives. Factory farms are terrible. Israeli tanks surround Gaza hospitals after repeated strikes on medical facilities. A new Nakba, Palestinians condemn forcible transfer from northern Gaza, I agree. Attacks on U.S. forces in Mideast surge amid warnings. Gaza war could spread like wildfire. Okay, and U.S. official says toll from Israeli strikes is even higher than official figure of 10,000 plus killed. Media workers protest New York Times for biased anti-Palestinian coverage of Israeli war and on Gaza. And Nan Golden cancels New York Times project over its complicity with Israel. And students at Brown, MIT, Columbia, and other colleges risk arrest retaliation to protest the war on Gaza. Okay. Alright, we should all protest all war, and we have a ceasefire right now, and help and rebuild Gaza and the West Bank villages, and move all the settlers out of the West Bank, and let the Palestinians live in peace. That's what I think. Okay, now, I'll be right back. Hang on a minute. I'm back, like to sing a little song. Irene, good night. Irene, good night. Good night, Irene. Good night, Irene. I'll see you in my dreams. Last Saturday night I got married. Me and my wife settled down. Now me and my wife are parted. Gonna take another stroll downtown. Irene, good night. Irene, good night. Good night, Irene, good night. Irene, I'll see you in my dreams. Sometimes I live in the country. Sometimes I live in the town. Sometimes I have a great notion to jump to the river and drown. Irene, good night. Irene, good night. Good night, Irene. Good night, Irene. I'll see you in my dreams. Stop rambling. Stop your gambling. Stop staying out late at night. Go home to your wife and your family. Sit down by the fireside bright. Irene, good night. Irene, good night. Good night, Irene. Good night, Irene. See you in my dreams. Okay, good night, Irene. Hope you liked it. Also, wouldn't it be nice if we could have peace throughout the world? Wouldn't it be nice if there was no more war ever? Did you ever think that we could change the world to have a real peace here. Okay, thank you for tuning in this evening of Monday, November 13th, 2023, for another meeting of Carolyn Speaks. Say the world joins again. In the meantime, stay safe, wear a mask, practice social distancing. When the vaccine is available and safe here, I take it. We had ours. And remember, kindness goes a long way. Kindness goes a very long way. Signing off on Monday, November 13th, 2023. Good night. Stay safe.